Spark Zero DLC is finally here, and we have the superhero characters featuring the Gammas, Gamma 1 and 2, Beast Gohan, Orange Piccolo, and Cell Max. And of course, here's where we'll put the brand new stage, if there was one. But no, seriously, Bandai, what are we doing? How are we dropping the first DLC for one of the most hyped Dragon Ball games of all time with no new stage? It's literally the Red Ribbon Army. But I digress. Let's dive into these characters. So DLC 1 consists of 11 characters. I know you're gonna get that one person in the comments that's gonna be like, well, actually it's 5, Rhyme. It's Gohan, Gamma 1, Gamma 2, Cell Max, and Piccolo. Yeah, but the cool thing is they actually made every character differentiate from themselves as they transform, which is kind of sick. I mean, we've kind of seen that with other characters in the current roster as is, but essentially every time we transform, it's a different moveset, a different character, and they play somewhat differently. So technically it's 11 characters, but I know technically speaking, it's 5. Well, all right, big question now, is the DLC worth it? Do I want to spend hard-earned money on this DLC? It feels a bit lackluster. Well, let's find out together. First things first, here's the moveset breakdown. We have After Image, Full Power Charge, Masenko, High Speed Rush, and Super Kamehameha. Honestly, I feel like you're never gonna really use any of this stuff. Maybe the Full Power Charge, which is nice. Anything that gives you Max Ki or something like an Insta Spark is a good move. As you can see, the character feels pretty nice, but again, I know why we're here. We're here for the Beast mode. We want to see this man go Beast, which you'll see in a couple seconds. Here's a quick Masenko to show you what the beam looks like in case you're wondering, and of course the High Speed Rush. Now, cool thing about this, you can actually move around with it, which in my opinion is very important because, as you know, you can vanish pretty much any attack in the game. And anytime you have a rush attack that allows you to have some movement, you can kind of mess with the timing of it, which gives your opponent less of a chance to actually vanish it, thus completing the combo and doing more damage to your opponent. All right, let's go into our Insta Max Ki, go into Sparky mode and see what the Super Kamehameha looks like. I will say I'm not the biggest fan of the standard Super Kamehameha Ultimate that they tend to do in these games, but this one does look nice. And the cool thing is when he transforms, it's slightly different, which we'll talk about. But first, complaint. They gave him the Jiren treatment. Where did the cape go? Why did it get eviscerated? Bro got reverse close beam for some reason. He even throws the glasses. I mean, y'all could have at least made him throw the cape as well. Anyways, we have Explosive Wave, Full Power Charge, Explosive Ray, Explosive Kick, and Super Kamehameha. But as I mentioned, the cool thing is as you transform, you do tend to fight a bit different than in the previous form. And actually, I think every time he transforms up even more, he slightly changes, which is kind of sick. As you can see, these combos, these basic square combos, are a bit different than they were in his base form. All right, let's actually go through the animations. As I mentioned, there is a bit of a change when he does the Super Kamehameha here in a couple seconds. So here is the first rush attack. I don't like how it's missing impact. Like, you see what I'm talking about? It feels like it's missing, like, the oomph. I don't know what it is. And then this is Explosive Ray, which is essentially just a one-handed Masenko. Now, check this out. Now when you do a Super Kamehameha, even though he has the same beginning animation, he has a different voice line where he talks about how it's for Videl and Pan. And then when the beam actually hits, they show, like, the cutscene where it, like, impacts the character, which is kind of sick. It's nothing too crazy, but I do like the fact that it kind of feels a little bit different, as if Gohan is literally leveling up as he fights. All right, the next stage, we have Ultimate Gohan. Mystic Gohan is back, as we used to call him back in the day, and look at that pose. Ooh! All right, let's break down the moves. So we have Wild Sense, Power to Rise again, Explosive Bullet, Super Explosive Rush, and Explosive Onslaught. That's a lot of explosions. The buff is just a 50-second thing that makes you stronger, pretty much. Deal more damage, yada, 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 that basic stuff. Nothing too crazy. Wild Sense, as you guys know. And as I mentioned, see how he fights differently with the basic square combos. Here's the rush attack. It does add a bit more impact frames, which is kind of sick. And then the beam is kind of like a instant warping one-handed Masenko, essentially. It works for pretty much anywhere on screen, which is pretty sick. I feel like this character is going to be crazy. And of course, the ultimate is still Super Kamehameha, but it's a rush attack that adds more animations, which is pretty sick. Kind of reminds me of like a modern day Burst Rush. Although I will say Burst Rush had way more impact. Way more impact. And then the beam, pretty sick. But all right, the moment of truth. Go Beast, bro. Look at the animation, dog. Bar for bar copy straight from the movie. They absolutely cook with this. Look at the aura, too. Ooh! This character is sick. All right, let's break down the action moves because there's a lot to talk about here. So, we have Beast Sense. Guess it's my turn. Super Explosive Ray, Explosive Flash, and Special Beam Cannon. Beast Sense, as you can expect, it is just basically a Wild Sense. So they just have to be extra and give him a different name for it, but it's literally just Wild Sense. As you guys know, Wild Sense is pretty annoying to deal with in the game. First and foremost, Beerus, let me hit you, bro. No, none of that. And that's pretty sick too. Ooh, I'm glad he actually fought back so I can do the perception block, because this looks sick too. All right, what can he do? So the L2 up circle is Insta Spark. This attack is actually broken. Bro, watch this. First of all, animation is crazy. Now, what I noticed is the first time I did this, I'm like, wait a minute. That seemed pretty fast. And UI Goku's rush attack is fast? Bro, look how far I can get from Beerus. As far as possible. And look how fast I reach this man. It's instant. Anywhere on the map, it's instant. This attack, I feel like, in my opinion, makes the character top tier alone. But I guess they do kind of make up for it because his ultimate doesn't have like the craziest range. So we're gonna test it out real fast. As you can see from this distance, it's gonna stop right before we get the beers. But I mean, you never have to worry about that anyways. But just a heads up, you don't have infinite range with every attack. But let's watch the actual animation. This attack is sick. Ooh, into one shot. They gave that man the Batman voice and everything, and they got the animations to back it up as well. Nah, this character's broken. I'll be honest with you. You're gonna see a lot of Beast Gohan online for the next couple of weeks, actually next couple of months, but I get it. Like, this character is just so fun. Even the grab animation is crazy. Let's do it again. Ooh! Bro, this attack is so hard to dodge. I guarantee you they're gonna nerf this. Didn't they just nerf attacks that are like super fast? Watch them nerf this in a couple of months. We whiffed. Watch them nerf this in a couple months. I would not be surprised. Not even a couple months, a couple weeks. But I will point out, he's not completely broken. He actually is a bit lighter on the damage side, as you can tell. That rush attack only did 10k, and that was with the buff. Same thing with the ultimate. When you do the ultimate, with the buff, we're looking about 17,000, and without it, it's like 15, 16,000-ish, somewhere in that neighborhood. So, just a heads up. I guess they want us to be using the buff as much as possible to max out the damage. And also, you can actually combine the kick into the special beam cannon, which then ends up being about 27,000 with the boost of L2 up circle. So just a heads up. I mean, the character came in completely insane and broken, but yeah. But I still say he's sick. I still say he's probably gonna be one of the best characters in the game, and it's gonna be super fun. But let's swap it. We got Orange Piccolo, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I never liked Piccolo that they had before. This one's pretty sick. Wild Sense, False Courage, that's the standard stuff. Nothing too crazy in the first form. We're gonna go through all the basic square combos, just to see what the character looks like. I will say, I like this Piccolo way more than the other one, but he's still kind of like whatever. Let's be honest, similar to Beast Gohan. The reason why we're here is to see what Piccolo does when he goes orange, and actually also transforms after this form as well, which is pretty sick. So this is all just kind of basic stuff. A little grab, energy. You can tell that they didn't even care. They gave this man a basic energy wave and a basic rush and called it a day. All right, and then now we have the evolved form, whatever it's called. The breakdown of moves is we have Wild Sense, one in the same way, Explosive Ruin, Cho Magugeki, and Special Beam Cannon. Excuse my pronunciations. This is just another buff that gives you a strength boost for 15 seconds. And it also said something about that it triggers a counter attack, but I could not figure out to save my life how to trigger it. So I'm gonna be honest with you, this is y'all job. Whenever this comes out, you can explain to me, maybe it's a typo. His L2 triangle is just a rock that he spawns out of nowhere, like how we saw in the actual movie, and actually pretty sick. It's pretty fast. And then he has just regular perception. I was still trying to figure out how to do the counter that is mentioned with L2 up circle, but again, y'all figure this out. I could not for the life of me figure out how to get this to pop out, so it is what it is. All right, let's reset the character and go back to the animations and show you the goods. So as I mentioned and showed you earlier, his L2 triangle, he just spawns a rock out of nowhere, similar to what we saw in the movie, and throws at you. Pretty fast, actually not that bad. And then of course his rush attack, I actually like this a lot because it has pretty decent impact frames. Getting jumped, you can combine that with a lot, throw a rock afterwards as well. His ultimate, of course, is Special Beam Cannon. Surprise, surprise, who would have thought? But I will point out, one thing I find funny about this character, which you're about to see in a couple seconds, when I go orange, the first animation looked confident. Boom, right? Suddenly he's getting his ass beat. He's falling. I know this was a reference to the movie, but I like how it's like he's just smiling and then the next frame is him falling, which is kind of whatever. All right, so we have Pump Up, we have that Shenron, Explosive Demon Wave, Fierce Fist, and Special Beam Cannon. That Shenron is Insta Spark, and Pump Up makes you stronger but slows you down. This character, by the way, is sick. It's a bit more on the bulkier, slower side, so it's gonna be hard to super counter. But this man, I feel like, can also be top tiers because, like, there's something about this character that just feels right. I don't know what it is. Anyone that's been playing the game since the game came out will immediately be able to see that this character is gonna be crazy. I might be wrong, I don't know. But to me, off the first rip, playing the very, very first time, this character is pretty sick. And of course, anything that has Insta Spark, it's always gonna be a plus. Dash in, long ass range of that, and beat that man's ass and show him the originator of the Special Beam Cannon. Nah, this character is sick. They absolutely cooked. I'm just happy it wasn't just one banger character, it was several. By the way, you know what's cool about Orange Piccolo? If you start losing, guess what? Boom, you have one more transformation. They gave him his giant form, as we saw in the trailer. And you know what's also cool about this? He has some unblockables. That's right, his L2 L triangle and his ultimate are unblockable attacks. Now, I personally don't like playing as giants. They're a bit boring, a bit bulky and slow. But hey, I guess time comes down to it. If you start getting your ass beat and you want to go into giant form to get an extra advantage, you can. That attack right there, Fierce Fist, whatever it's called, unblockable. And then, of course, his ultimate attack. By the way, did I mention he has Instant Spark as a giant as well? That attack right there has a pretty small range, but if you're within the vicinity of an opponent, unblockable. Unblockable. Oh my gosh. You know it was a great idea to add in Spark and Zero? Unblockable attacks. But behave yourself with this, all right? I don't want to see any more cheeses online. Who am I kidding? People are going to abuse these characters frame one. I will say I'm impressed. I think they absolutely cooked this character. And we're going to go ahead and hop into the Gammas next. Now, right off the bat, as you expected, he's an android. Gamma Superhero Pose 1, Android Barrier, Gamma Blaster, Gamma Impact, and Gamma Shift Shot. You can't charge, obviously, so if you know how to play with androids, you're going to love these characters. If you don't like androids and how they fight, they might not be for you. I do like that they feel a bit balanced, yet they feel very, very good. And also, they cooked the animations as well. I thought they were just kind of focused on like 1 or 2 characters in this DLC and kind of do whatever with the other ones. But honestly, Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 especially might be some of the coolest characters in the game. So we're going to go ahead and charge up, go into our moves here. I like the animation of this. So it's a beam that when he hits it, you got Gamma 2 that jumps in. Like, watch this, watch. I like how it makes me think of in Step Brothers when they're doing an interview and the dude pops up behind them. It's literally the same energy. Oh my gosh, it's so cool though. I'm not a fan of androids. Maybe I can like play these characters and get used to it, but I just hate the fact that you can't charge it. It sucks. Gamma 2 is similar to Gamma 1. So you have a superhero pose, which is just a buff, Android Barrier, Gamma Blaster, Impact, and of course, Core Breaker. I do want to point out, Core Breaker is unblockable. They got the same Kefla treatment where if you get caught in the giant orb when you unleash the move, it does actually end up triggering the animation. It's not super crazy broken and powerful damage-wise, but yeah. So right here, I decided to turn off the infinite key, just kind of show you how fast the key comes back as you're fighting. It's exactly how it is with any other android. Again, androids in this game, an acquired taste. By the way, is anybody a big fan of onomatopoeias? Because today, we got some onomatopoeias with Gamma 2. Now, if I get my ass beat and it says kablam behind me, I feel like I just gotta go home for the day. Like, it is what it is. I have always had a love-hate relationship with androids in Tenkaichi style games. Well, I do like the fact that they have that gimmick where the keys always come back. There's something about it that I just don't really like. Because if you're not good with it, which honestly just my case is a skill issue, if you're not good with it, it does get you cooked sometimes. But man, I feel like Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 makes you want to actually get decent with androids because these two characters look so hype. All right, let's talk about his ultimate. So his ultimate is unblockable, as I mentioned, and it does give you the Majin Vegeta treatment, meaning the second you activate the attack, you're going to drop to 1 HP, which I believe, technically, can't you just fire a Ki Blast at the right time and kill him before he does it? You might be able to. I'm sure people are going to test this online. As you can see, the second you activate it, it does kind of have like the Kefla treatment where it's like a giant orb. If you get caught in that, it immediately triggers the rest of the attack. As you can see, I have 1 HP. Now, one thing you're going to notice that when you do this attack, it doesn't do that much damage, which I feel like any attack that puts you at 1 HP should do a bit more damage. It's more, I guess it makes more sense. But 19k to put me at 1 HP is crazy. But I guess it doesn't matter. If your opponent's down to like 2 bars, I get it. All right, and finally, the final part of the DLC, Cell Max. And I'll be honest with you, I think this is the most disappointing aspect of the DLC. But to be fair, I'm very biased against giants in this game. I don't like how giants play, how they are, how they feel. They're all slow and bulky. I'm not a fan. If you like giants, you're probably gonna love this character. I don't, just my opinion. Kind of break it down. We have Explosive Wave, we have Howl, we have Mighty Fist, and we have Max Bomb, I believe it's called. And by the way, Mighty Fist and Max Bomb, so his L2 up triangle and his ultimate, are unblockable. So if those connect, you're going to be looking at some damage you can't stop. That's Mighty Fist, similar to Orange Piccolo, just a big punch. This is Max Cannon, just a regular beam. Of course, we're going to Howl, go into our Instant Spark, and toss our giant orb. This animation is sick. They absolutely cook with this. They even show me like going crazy like how we did in the movie, so I like that a lot. But outside of that, kind of whatever. So honestly, let me know your thoughts. Once you get your hands on this DLC, let me know how, number one, all the other characters are, but how you feel about Cell Max. Yo, imagine if they had Cell Max available when they had the patch before December where Giants had like that unblockable dash and everything. Oh my god, that would be so annoying. But with that said, let me know your thoughts down below on DLC 1 and any critique and feedback you have, so hopefully Bandai can listen to that and make DLC 2 and 3 even better. I was also able to capture some gameplay against CPU. Unfortunately, my friends couldn't make it to the recording session, so we're just me. So I have some more gameplay I'll throw on at the end of the video. But outside that, I'm gonna do my actual online videos once the DLC comes out, which should be available for early access when this video goes up. One more thing, we have the Legendary Fighter mode as well, which is coming out. And while I wasn't able to play that, it sounds like raids. I think it's if it's a raid, 3 Spark Zero raid's about to go in when that mode releases. So yeah, Anyways, I'm ending the video right now. So here's a couple more fights against the CPU with the new characters, so you can also hear the voice lines and everything. But otherwise, stay tuned for more content with DLC 1 once it's officially out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.
That looks just like... Don't tell me. Did they bring back Cell? How's that? How's that? Shoot! Wide open. Right there! Hey, stay focused. Hey, stay focused. Hey, stop. Looks like I underestimated you. Get ready for this. Say your prayers. I'm not gonna hold back. Say your prayers. I'm putting it all into one shot. Special beam cannon! I'm not gonna hold back. Say your prayers. I'm putting it all into one shot. Special beam cannon! I can't afford to lose focus now. He's still a threat unless I can take him out for good. His weak spot's on his head. Piccolo, what do you think of my new power? Even you've got to admit it's pretty cool.
You've always had the potential to become the most powerful being on Earth.
Time to finish this.
This is a little extra.
Is this all? Come on, do better. Try to keep up. Try to keep Is this all?
Thank you, Shenron. A little extra went a long way.
Try to keep up.
Stop squirming around. Take this. Special beam cannon. You have the potential to become become the most powerful being on Earth. You need to believe in yourself and unleash that power.
Not bad. Looks like I underestimated you. Wide open. Right there! Say your prayers. I'm putting it all into one shot. Special beam cannon! I can beat you like a dog. I never imagined I could be the strongest guy in the world. But after this, I do feel like I'm getting closer.
Oh, if I win, I think I'll get you to do that pose I came up with.
I accept your challenge, but if I win, you're listening to me from now on. Try again!
Let's do this!
That's it.
Wide open!
Too slow. Here we go. Getting away.
Come on.
How's this? That attack is within parameters.
Come on, do better! Wide open!
Try again. Target eliminated.
Here I go! Whoops! Prepare for justice!
That's it.
It can't be! And pose!
You're mine!
You're too slow! Time for the finale!
Having trouble keeping up? In pursuit!
Ta-da! I haven't forgotten your promise, number one. Okay, so which pose should we try out first?